Dear cherished kiddo, listen attentively if you believe in God. Say, Amen. There's an essence present now, gentle yet undeniable, like a whisper that stirs within your heart before reaching your mind. This isn't a force or a pressure, but a deep invitation. Something sacred is shifting. Not because the world is compelling change upon you, but because heaven is murmuring one message softly enough for your soul to hear it. And that message starts here. You're on the brink of transformation. This crucial message isn't about fear. It's about liberation. Not a deadline lurking behind you, but an opportunity ahead and the choice to seize it. You've borne so many expectations, doubts, unspoken turmoils others didn't realize you were experiencing. God sees every tear you swallow to remain strong. He understands every moment of doubt, uncertainty, or exhaustion. And now he says, I have been supporting you, and now I'm prepared to uplift you. You may not see the complete image yet. You may still question when, how, why me? But sometimes understanding comes after you make a move. Faith doesn't always reveal a destination. It merely suggests, take the step. I'll guide you. This message is your invitation to that kind of faith. Not compelled, just free. Archangel Michael draws near. Though you can't see him, you sense his presence like a gentle armor warming your spirit. He whispers softly, you are not alone in this. Not now, not ever. What's approaching isn't random. It's divine design. Stay open enough to receive it. God hovers like a warm breeze across a silent field. You don't have to manage what comes next. Just stay receptive. Your life is about to be touched by something so gentle, so powerful, it will stir your heart before it changes your days. I don't bring storms. I bring sessions of soul-cleansing spaces where my love can rebuild what life has eroded. This moment isn't a test. It's a transformation. You're not being tossed by the wind. You're being secured in grace. And what's coming is not about your past mistakes. It's about what heaven foresees for you. It's not a reaction to your errors. It's a response to your readiness. The soul from heaven, the one who felt your heart long before your eyes saw, speaks in recollection, not remorse. I sensed you. In your most vulnerable state, you persisted in faith. I am proud of that resilient version of you because she believed despite the challenges. And soon, she'll receive what she longed for. Archangel Michael nods, his voice steady and confident. The crucial message isn't a threat. It's a promise, one you've carried within you even before these words were spoken. Now the world needs to sense what heaven has known. God concludes with a quiet whisper that resonates in your core. Your life is not the same anymore. Not because I orchestrated an unexpected change, but because you finally believed something stronger than your fears. Now observe me act. You may not realize it yet, but your heart has already begun to prepare. You've noticed the small moments of pause, your breathing slowing, your thoughts softening, your soul yearning not for more chaos, but for more depth. That's heaven guiding you gently into harmony, one quiet pulse at a time. Type 222 to claim it. Those changes weren't coincidental. They were signs. Your inner voice saying, something is changing. Stay receptive. God speaks now with steady encouragement. I have been whispering through the stillness. I've been working beneath your anxiety, and now you can feel it, my presence working within you, prepared. Your heart has been aching in all the appropriate places, so it can transform into something holy. You won't hunt for signs. You'll merely observe the peace that wasn't present before. The world may still seem disorderly, but within, a quiet evolution is taking place. A reshuffling of priorities, a settling into purpose. You're starting to yearn for less for display and more for spirit, less for affirmation and more for satisfaction. That's not hesitation. That's divine realignment. You're reorganizing your life not by preference but by plan, not by force but by invitation. Archangel Michael is near but not in spectacle. You sense him in the way your chest relaxes, in the tender uncurling of your fingers. He says, you've worked hard enough, you've given more than necessary, now cease striving, now begin receiving. This message isn't a pressure. It's a permit to stop doing and start being. You may feel nervous, questioning if this is too good to be real. If everything inside you whispers caution, but God's voice comes like comforting soil beneath your feet, this isn't too good. It's just right. This essential message isn't about warning you of what's approaching. It's about comforting your soul. Heart toward what's already unfolding. You don't need to fear change. Instead, you can welcome it. The soul who's watched from above, who's felt the pain of your waiting, speaks again, filled with gentle delight. The breakthrough has started. You just don't have a clear view yet. Keep going, keep softening, keep trusting. You are already being reformed. Archangel Michael adds with deep calm, resistance is common, but resistance isn't essential. What you've been carrying can stay where it belongs. Your soul is rising. So release the burden, release the plan. Let this unfold. And God closes this part with a whispered word meant to echo inside your chest. Your life isn't just about to change. It has started changing. You just hadn't felt it enough to believe it. Now you will. Not every shift starts with thunder. Some begin in silence. In the moments where you feel tired of seeking, tired of asking, tired of wondering if you're off course. But here's what you didn't know. Those quiet queries were the start of your true answers. Not from the world, but from me. Because you were never waiting on life to change. You were waiting on yourself. Type God is good if you love God. Spirit recognizes the season it has already entered. God speaks softly but clearly now. This is not the beginning of something arbitrary. This is the beginning of something recollected, a return to your proper tempo. You've outgrown what no longer suits, not by chance but by grace. You didn't miss the chance. You didn't mishandle the blessing. You simply evolved into the version of yourself who could finally grasp it. The restlessness you've been feeling, it's not annoyance. It's sacred stirring. It's heaven readying you to enter places your old mindset couldn't reach. Archangel Michael steps close and says tenderly, "You're not behind. You're on time according to the divine." And what felt like delay was preparation, because where you're heading next doesn't need more effort. It needs more consciousness, more tranquility, more openness to receive without holding on. The spirit from afar, still attached to your heart, smiles and says, "You've always been this, aligned, whole, chosen. You just had to stop looking at what wasn't working long enough to see what was quietly taking shape." They notice the growth. The way you no longer panic in silence. The way you no longer force what's not flowing. That's spiritual maturity. That's your leadership guiding. God persists. You don't require a grander scheme. You need a more focused stance. Your next phase isn't about pursuing anything. It's about attracting what has been seeking you, waiting for your soul to calm down enough to say, "I'm ready now." Michael affirms his voice like stabilizing power. Everything around you is transforming because everything within you already has. Let the outer correspond with the inner. Let the fruit follow the faith. What you've harbored in the unseen is about to manifest itself. And God concludes this section with a tender softness. Like light filtering through a curtain right before sunrise. You are not venturing into something new. You are reclaiming what was always yours, and now nothing can impede it. There's a door in front of you, but not the type that demands brute force. It's the kind that responds to presence, not pressure. The kind that opens not because you banged loudest, but because you arrived as your most authentic self. And now that door is starting to creak open, not because something shifted outside you, but because something aligned within you. God whispers with a quiet assurance, the type that knows it cannot be silenced. Denied, yet you persisted even when it seemed senseless, when no applause echoed, when even you doubted its significance. Now heaven responds, not due to your shouting, but because of your endurance. What awaits isn't a reward, but an unveiling of all that you've already been evolving into. This isn't about proving yourself anymore. You've moved beyond that. You're not here to coerce life to be kind to you. You're here to receive what has been prepared for you. Archangel Michael moves near, not with weapons or armor, but with gentle assurance. The time has come. No longer do you need to shield yourself from joy. Embrace it. The soul from beyond speaks again with pride that envelops your shoulders like a comforting warmth. You didn't abandon yourself even when tempted to. You paused. You breathed through the stress. You refused to harden just to endure. Now heaven acknowledges your resilience. You weren't being weak, you were being prudent. God continues, I never asked you to perform for a spot in my presence. Type 1111 if you love God Jesus. I asked you to recall it. You aren't earning entrance. You are simply returning to reality. You are always invited. The door wouldn't budge due to exertion. It swung open when your energy synced with your goal. Michael spoke once more, his voice light yet grounded. Don't glance back. Don't strive to revise the past to comprehend this instance. This isn't about reasoning. This is about freedom. You aren't simply entering a blessing, you're entering existence. And God completes this section with the simplest, most liberating sentence your soul has been longing to hear. You are prepared. Not because you have everything planned out, but because you finally stopped concealing your light. You've sought signs. You've hunted for evidence, but somewhere along the journey something changed. You no longer needed the sky to shatter. You no longer waited for thunder to confirm what your heart already acknowledged. That change, that surrender, that was your sign. God communicates now, not in loudness, but in stillness so profound it silences every other voice. You no longer need to wonder if this is me. You no longer need to fear losing what's yours. You are no longer being examined. You are being entrusted. What's approaching isn't here to demonstrate itself. It's here to merge with who you've become. Because the miracle isn't the occasion, it's you. For many years, you've walked with doubt. You gave when no one noticed. You waited while others hurried. You remained gentle when it would have been simpler to become tough. Now, heaven acknowledges this stance not as weakness but as sacred preparedness. Archangel Michael stands by your side with eyes full of profound wisdom. He says you didn't need more work. You needed clarity, and now you possess it. The soul from beyond who once knew your heart intimately rejoices, their voice rising with joy. Do you finally understand it? That this peace isn't coincidental? That this alignment isn't random? You feel it in your chest now, that holy unwaveringness. They're not just encouraging you. They're marveling at what you've become. God continues, gentle but firm. You've outgrown the need for dramatic rescue. You've stepped into divine understanding. And now what is meant for you will start to arrive quietly. No more struggling, just sacred acceptance. Michael adds his tone soft and confident. You are no longer waiting. You are walking, and where you're going has already been prepared. You are stepping into a timing that was designed only for you. And God finishes with the truth your soul already knew. You have evolved. Suspected, but needed to be verbally confirmed. This is your confirmation, not because you asked for it, but because you earned it. This is the moment your spirit acknowledges. Move forward now. Everything is moving. There are moments when everything feels like it's slipping through your fingers. Type 777 if you believe in God, Jesus. You tighten your grip, you pray harder, you ask louder. But still things change. People move away. Doors close, and in the silence that follows, you wonder, did I lose something valuable? Did I miss the opportunity meant for me? God speaks now, and his voice doesn't resonate. It grounds. You didn't lose, you were being guided. What you thought was falling apart was actually coming together. Because not all endings are conclusions, some are clearances. And what looked like loss was making space for what your soul truly required. You were never being penalized. You were being prepared. Archangel Michael walks with you now. Not ahead or behind, but beside, because this part of the journey requires presence, not speed. He says, you didn't fail. You completed a cycle. You graduated from a level you didn't even realize you had outgrown. The delay wasn't rejection. It was divine redirection. And now you're standing in a new beginning. The gap between. The gap where you no longer hold onto what was, but haven't fully entered what's coming. That gap feels uneasy, yet it's sacred. It's where heaven speaks most clearly. If your heart stays open enough to listen, the spirit from beyond, always watching gently, smiles through the quiet. You thought you were being left behind, but you were actually being moved forward. What seemed like a setback was the very thing that steered you toward your true path. They see now what you couldn't then, and they're proud you kept going despite it all. God works with depth only your soul can sense. I never needed your flawlessness. I only needed your consent. And now that you've stopped opposing the current, witness what I bring into your life. Not in turmoil, but in peace. Not to challenge you, but to empower you. Michael's voice echoes, solid like the base beneath your feet. This is the turning point, not a grand explosion, but a quiet growth. Your life isn't just about to transform, it already has. Now it's merely catching up to your spirit. And God concludes with the comfort you've longed to feel deep within. Nothing is overdue, nothing was missing. I was merely creating space for something improved, deeper, genuine. Now that thing is present. There's a transition occurring now that doesn't need your effort. It asks for your approval. It's not urging you to work harder, speak louder, or push deeper. It's welcoming you to relax. Not relax to accept less, but relax into truth. The truth that your time isn't in the future. It's within you. And when you stop waiting for change to show up and start acting like it's already yours, the entire environment around you responds. God speaks with a presence that reaches into your lungs, slowing your breath, calming your heart. You are not on the brink of breakthrough. You are in the midst of it. Now I ask you to stop evaluating progress with your eyes and start feeling it with your soul. Because your soul knows. It knew before the change and now it acknowledges the evolution. This isn't inspiration. This is recollection, a soul memory being rekindled, a reminder of who you've always been. Before the stress, before the spectacle, before you doubt whether you were sufficient, Archangel Michael enters the sacred space around you. Not to watch over, but to observe. He says, "You've always carried this calling. It's just now your timing has caught up to your truth. You are not being trained anymore. You are being positioned." The soul from heaven who always believed in the light you carried, even when you couldn't see it, leans close with joy. You finally stopped dulling yourself to fit into rooms you were never meant to squeeze into. You're stepping into spaces where your soul isn't just noticed, it's applauded. They see the glow now, and you do too. God continues with a phrase that won't leave you. What you feared would never come has already arrived. Not with noise, not with signs, but with the sensation that wraps around your bones and tells you, you're home. You're no longer longing anymore. You're here, Michael's voice echoes like a closing chord, full and final. You are no longer in waiting. You are in action. And every step now creates resonance, ripples of reality that match the rhythm of your readiness. And God finishes this part with a line that will carry into your every tomorrow. You are not becoming because you figured it all out. You are becoming because you're ready, eventually trusted. Now life lived as if it's already owned because it is. There is no grand declaration, no sudden explosion, just the quiet blossoming of something deeply right. This is how divine things develop, not with panic but with peace, not through force but through flow. And the most powerful moments of your life will not come crashing in. They will come gently, just like this one. God communicates softly but with a clarity that anchors every scattered thought. You are not stepping into possibility. You are stepping into fulfillment. What you hoped for is no longer on the way. It has arrived, quietly settling into place while you weren't looking, because I do not construct by pressure, I build in presence. For so long you thought arrival would feel like a rush, like a climax. But now you understand differently. Now you feel it differently. It doesn't come with noise, it comes with knowing. The kind of knowing that silences every doubt. The kind of knowing that doesn't need confirmation. It is confirmation. Archangel Michael stands near, his wings not raised in battle but spread in calmness. He says, you didn't need to chase it. You needed to clear space for it. It's here now, not because you begged intensely, but because you transformed into the person capable of holding it. The soul from afar observes with tranquil respect and says, you don't yet realize it, but your life already looks distinct. You no longer seek validation from others to believe it. That's when it changed. That's when heaven said, now we advance. God continues, you remained faithful even when nothing appeared to shift. You sowed peace during tumultuous times. You showed love without recognition. And now it returns not in the same form but in divine harmony. This is not a reward. This is reverberation. Michael adds, stand firm as the ground beneath your next step. You're no longer waiting, you're receiving. And receiving isn't passive, it's potent. You're creating space for miracles not through force but through fullness. And God finishes with a truth that can no longer be ignored. What you once believed was distant has already unfolded gradually, softly, surely. Your only task now is to live as if it's present because it is. If you believe in God, say Amen or 444 or 555 or 11. Subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching this God message. May God Jesus will grant you abundance in every aspect of your life. Type 222 if you agree.